Let's now look at former US President Donald Trump, who's arrived at his golf club at Turnberry in South Ayrshire in this past hour on a tour of golf resorts, it seems, in the UK and Ireland. He's heading out to County Clare to another one of his resort golf courses tomorrow. Well, Mr. President, as he still is, wants to return to the White House, of course, despite being the first ever president to face criminal charges. Well, let's just update you that you can find out more about his thinking with a world-exclusive interview with Nigel Farage tomorrow night here on GB News. That's in Farage at 7 o'clock. But right now, let's join our Scotland reporter, Tony McGuire, who's at Turnberry. And there was quite a turnout for their boss. They were lining the steps there up to the golf resort. But he does look as if he's dressed to head out on the fairways, at least.
Yeah, that's right. Certainly about 1:45, the motorcade pulled up onto the drive on the big hill that you can see behind me, and President Trump got out and made the other half of the journey on steps, staff lined either side. I must say it was actually quite a spectacle. We saw staff from the kitchens and their, I don't really know the technical term, but the big chef hats. But everybody else was wearing their red Make America Great Again hats. Quite the scenes here, and of course the pipe bands as well. In a probably successful bid to pull at the heartstrings of President Trump. And then less than an hour later, a slightly smaller motorcade of 4 golf buggies made its way up the hill, and President Trump came down to the clubhouse just about where I am now, and he gave a wave to the photographers and the press, and also some supporters that came out to see him. And any minute now he's expected to be teeing off from the first tee here at Trump Turnberry. I did try and capture that in camera, but I wasn't quite quick enough. However, if you, like me, that you missed your chance, then yes, as you say, tomorrow night Nigel Farage is going to be interviewing President Trump in a world exclusive while President is here in Scotland. We know they're going to talk about things like the royal family, President Trump's ongoing legal battles in the United States. He's going to give an assessment of Rishi Sunak's performance so far, and also hopefully lay out some of his plans for the following 18 months as he remains currently on the ticket to be the next Republican candidate to face off in a rematch against President Biden sometime next year. So as you said, yep, that's on it tomorrow night on GB News exclusively at 7 p.m. with Farage. And I think everybody, no matter how they feel about the former president, will be desperate to tune into that to see what he has to say about his trip here and about his plans to return to the White House.
Now, I gather he wasn't quite so anxious to speak to reporters there at Turnberry. I think one of the correspondents from the Scotsman newspaper was actually ejected from the course by the Trump staff. Is that right?
Yes, I used to work actually with said reporter, and Martin has quite a quite a history, shall we say, with the Trump organisation, but certainly spoke to him earlier. He had joined a lot of the press as the motorcade came in earlier on, and certainly, you know, when he came down to the course just to tee off from this real jewel in his Scottish golf portfolio down here in South Ayrshire, I would say he seemed in a jovial mood. He certainly, as he was making his way up the steps upon his arrival, he was shaking lots of hands, but certainly President Trump has a much better relationship with Nigel Farage. I think their relationship goes all the way back to 2014 when Nigel first met President Trump, and Nigel, I believe, joined him on quite a successful presidential campaign. So maybe he's hoping some of that Nigel Farage luck will rub off once again.
And we'll see what the golfing performance is like, of course, there at Turnberry, which I think also opened in 2014, and I certainly will update people on his score around the course as well. Tony, for the moment, thank you very much indeed for that.